started. Yay.
Goddamn gophers digging up my front yard.
That was fun.
When you get a mod,
That's the best thing I've heard today.
okay, Max.
That's my
when we
hun.
get done with this, look in your mods and see if you have one that would give you 8% health from an energy drop.
Okay.
That's what I have on me, and so when I'm picking up energy drops, like these little blue pulsing orbs, I get health back as well.
Alright.
That's also a rare mod.
What, the 8% health
Yeah,
from
the red
energy
fusion.
spheres?
It's called.
That's a rare drop.
Fury.
Yes, because I've only gotten one of those as of.
Well, it's the frog version.
Excuse
but
me.
I don't know if I have another one,
You're
but it's
stupid
possible.
and me.
Wait, what? Wait, what? What? Did you just call me stupid?
Not,
I'm ranking up.
not
My
you,
arc
you
might
mook.
be ranked as far as that comes up.
Okay. Okay, now, well, down.
Dear.
Hold on, Max. I got you.
Ah,
What the hell were you doing?
being
Sounded
weird.
Sounded like
I'm
he was from a
stretching my
bad
body.
90s.
This is me stretching.
You sounded like you were
Damn
from a
it.
bad 90s action movie.
Oh, behave.
Now that just sounded like you were from a bad 80s porno.
Oh,
Or
And I
Austin
don't
Powers.
That's okay. See, Hazard gets it. Hazard gets it. You don't get it.
Guys, go, I gotta do something. Hold on.
What?
Hi, Yuri. Sorry about the random everything. Everybody else is playing Warframe in the background. So they're being weirdos right now.
By the way, Max.
Things that are basically ugly as hell to look at.
Oh, you mean
Well,
Riku?
damn.
Oh,
By the way, Aaron, did you see what I?
Jesus.
Did you see what I said about Max when I first
Like your
in the
ass?
chat?
yep.
Hold on, guys.
Oh, yeah, true.
One at a time, guys. One at a time.
Yeah, one at a time. Anyway, what were you saying, Ren?
I heard her.
I called you a scrub in the YouTube chat.
Well, okay then.
So, like,
Huh.
Koi places, remember
I
that?
am
Koi's
not
the ugliest one
here.
here.
You shut the fuck up.
who's the ugliest one in here?
Koi.
Hey now. Hey now. No being mean like that.
Wait, Riku, I came up with a funny figure. Okay.
I just saw someone with a two, bro.
Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who is the ugly one of us all?
Koi Brienne.
Please stop.
Oh my, stop. Okay.
Okay,
Oh,
let's
no.
stop.
Wait, you said
Okay, that's-
oh, bleh.
Koi
That's a
Brienne.
bit much,
Oh,
guys.
yeah,
A bit
yeah,
much.
yeah.
Guys.
Koi.
Guys, let Izzy talk.
Let
Just
Dreamer.
telling us to stop
Like-
with
Talk.
those.
Okay.
I do want to say something though, Aaron. Have you seen the picture that Riku did of Koi but it's on River Rianne's body?
So that's
No. And
That's
I really
happening.
don't. I really don't care.
Beyond was real.
Okay.
Anywho.
how you doing, Izzy?
Well, she's being quiet. I mean, drawn.
Do I? Oh.
You're drawing right now.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but
I'm just trying to get other people in the dang chat. In the stream in general.
Wait, question. Is the joke Houdini okay here?
No.
Ooh, we got second chance. Hell yeah.
Houdini.
Stop it. I will stab you in the dick. Stop. Anyway.
Playdons, I will kick you out of this chat.
That's
No,
just
here,
mean,
no.
okay.
No, Aaron will like put you on the fridge.
Ren, you're no, not Ren. Max, you're grounded. Get on top of the fridge.
This house
Ah.
is fucking like, oh shit.
Oh,
Come on, Max.
it is fun fighting with giant yo-yos.
Wait, what about yo-yos?
Wait, what?
I said it's fun fighting with giant. I said it's fun fighting with giant, menacing, robotic yo-yos.
Oh.
I thought you were talking about something else.
Oh my god, guys, really?
What?
What?
You guys are weird.
Wait, what?
We're
What do you mean?
all
We're
weird.
weird.
You're related to us, so you're in. So you're not. So yeah, you're not out of this.
I'm just here because
Bitch, I'm the queen of weird.
Exactly.
You know, she's not wrong.
Oh,
Max, Max, do you wish to get back on top of the fridge?
No.
Too bad. You're grounded. Get back on top of the fridge.
Fucking nightmare.
I sometimes got some relics out of this.
Well, if she is the queen of craziness, I am embodiment of craziness and randomness.
A bitch, you ain't shit. No, I'm kidding.
Ah.
Should I go full craziness and full randomness?
No.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh, I got ranked up. Nice.
What about what?
He's asking for his pocky.
No.
Rico's a pocky.
He does.
Riku,
Riku,
you need to get
Riku.
over your pocky addiction.
I don't have an addiction. I'll quit anytime, please. He's a pocky.
Riku, Riku,
Fucking dumbass. Anyway,
Oh
Riku,
god.
my friend,
this
my
is what
friend.
we deal with
Listen
on a
here,
daily
listen here.
Riku acting like a dumbass.
The first part of
That's
getting
my
over
problem,
your
too.
addiction. May I speak, sir?
Yeah, you can.
Oh.
Anyway, Riku, the first part of coming over you.
The moment he gets a chance to speak, he messes up.
Okay, let's start over this.
Where's all the Tom thing?
Wait, Hazard, are you using a some
Okay,
sort of? Oh my
Okay.
god.
time
Of
out.
course you would have the saw weapon.
Okay,
Anyway, go ahead.
Of
Oh,
course
okay, go.
you would.
Guys,
Okay.
just let the plane speak.
I was just astonished at how Hazard has gone with the saw weapon.
okay, okay. I will invent a zipper for a mouth.
You ain't doing shit to my son, bitch.
I don't fucking care. It's my best friend.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. He's my son.
He's my best friend.
He's my son.
He's my best friend.
Yeah, and I'm his mother, bitch.
No, not now.
Oh shit, I lost connection. It's because I am here.
I am here. God damn it.
But it was normal, but it was me, Claytons.
Oh my god. I am here, coming into the chat like, wait, what?
Okay, wait.
That's basically Max. Actually, no. This is Max. He eats him out the window. God damn it, Max.
Okay, let me start over, roll back, and start it. Okay, Riku. To get over your addiction, you must admit you have one. That's the first part of the rehabilitation.
What rehabilitation?
Wait, why is there a dropship?
Okay, can I say something?
That's what.
No.
That's what keeps dropping the enemies from that side.
I want to say, you're right, Blake. You're right. Before I do anything, actually, talk with yourself back. What's like your problem?
First off, Riku, can you not stutter so much?
Okay,
Max, what's up, Max, buddy? Come here. What's up like your problem?
okay.
Okay,
Yes,
if Max has any problems, he has to take it up with me or the gods of mistakes.
Or with his
Well, I thought it
psychiatrist.
was either you or Seth.
We're both the gods of mistake. The fuck you talking about?
Fair enough.
Wait, if you're the
So,
god
huh,
of
how come you
mistakes,
went mute?
does it mean someone in here is a mistake?
I'm a
Da-da-da-da.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. I'm gone. I'm done. I'm walking out now.
No, you're not.
No.
You are still better than Riku's at the moment.
Yeah, I'm still doing damage.
You are a pirate. Yar,
Riku. Riku.
Playdons, if my freaking account gets freaking striked for that, I'm gonna hurt you.
Well,
Wait, what did he do?
He started doing a certain song.
Oh.
well,
Wait,
my freedom has been taken.
Wait, bitch, since when did you have freedom?
It says I entered this room.
Oh God!
Oh yes, I got a stance mod.
Kylie took a picture of the Impossible Whopper. God damn it, Kylie, you're making me hungry again.
You know what would be more
I've
delicious?
been hungry.
Hey Max, we all know what you want.
Do you want string
Giggity?
fight?
Yes, very much giggity.
God damn it. Let's try not to laugh.
I will allow myself to get is from, you know what, I'm not gonna say that. I'm just gonna move on.
God damn it, Max.
You ain't gonna get shit from me, bitch.
It wasn't from you.
Oh, well, I see how much I'm loved. I'm just gonna cry. I'm gonna go cry.
Since when will you learn?
I'm gonna go cry in the corner now.
Wow.
I'm savage today.
Who's doing
Wow, he just disrespect my own mother.
that look like they're
You're, what? Who you calling old? Your mother ain't
Are
old.
these born?
Bitch, who the fuck you calling old?
You're starting to sound like Yoshichi.
Who you calling old, bitch?
Oh,
Are
shit.
thorns bubbles that damage your cause?
Well, run
Yes.
away from good.
Okay, I was wondering because one of them made an enemy look like it was still standing.
What the gold chain in damn group? I did nothing wrong.
You did everything wrong.
Max,
You couldn't even
Max,
create damage.
Max, Riku's not you.
Damn.
But Riku is Riku.
I'm just gonna shut up now.
I'm a
Hazard,
crazy
I
little
keep
angel.
thinking of that guy.
I'm a crazy little angel. You leave me alone.
You ain't perfect, so don't even start that.
You ain't an angel, so don't even start lying.
Riku,
I'm a
Riku.
precious little angel.
You are not.
If you're a
Rick.
precious angel, then a bridge isn't a manhole.
Okay,
Exactly.
Riku, Riku. Riku, listen here. The closest to an angel you are is a pig with angel
God
wings.
damn it, Riku, you died again.
No. I want to
Yeah.
see thing with angel wings. I see freaking Max say he's addicted to porn.
Wait, what?
What about porn?
Yeah, I hear you.
I heard porn. What?
The name of the
Porn as well.
level they're on
I say speaking.
on
I said me be innocent like Max say he's addicted to porn.
Max, but Max is addicted to porn.
Yeah, he doesn't
Yep.
admit it to it though.
He has.
Wow.
Not to
Yeah,
us.
he actually has.
Oh wait, Riku's down. I'll get you up.
Riku's down. What a surprise.
Okay, let's kind of move on to this level.
Guys, I got a question. Is it weird that I want to play Sekiro right now?
No.
No?
Not really. Max, you need to vote out.
Max.
Damn it, Max. One job.
Wait, is he gonna be left behind still doing the game?
Yeah.
Oh my god. God damn it, Max.
Hey,
Good luck, Max.
oh, here's what we found out.
We are familiar faces.
Aaron,
Yes.
these guys are fun.
Max is always with those 15 waves.
Max,
Y'all, but
this is
y'all
your
didn't.
own fault.
But I told y'all I'd be right back.
Well, we didn't know you left.
But you know that you left.
Dang it.
Oh, don't worry. I sent you an invitation. Now get the hell out of there.
I'm already out of there.
Get back here, boy.
Boy.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for leaving me.
Hey,
No
we
problem.
buddy. You're welcome, buddy.
Oh wait, since Max's order isn't there, Riku, yours isn't gonna be right in front of me. Max's is, and he's not intimidating.
What can I
Help.
say
Or what?
except you're welcome?
So we're
Guys,
gonna do another defense thing.
guys, don't shoot me just yet. I wanna.
Also, again, Plydons, I can literally get my account kicked off of YouTube if you do plagiarize songs. Specifically the You're Welcome from Disney, because I've already gotten
just
Disney on
said
my
it.
ass.
I just said it.
I've already got Disney on my ass, Plydons.
Well, no, if you're saying it in the tune and they can recognize it, then it is liable to get copyrighted, and then Disney will get onto Aaron's account, YouTube account back.
They really will, and I don't want to lose this account. Damn it! I've had this account since I was 13.
Yeah, plain.
Damn it, Plydons.
I just need 50 grok jewel, 50
Oh, well.
and 30 fish oil, and I can make the Archwing launcher.
Well, it was a good run while it lasted.
For some reason we couldn't.
That's right,
You know what? We couldn't
You have
just.
to do the port thing. You have to do that junction thing.
Hold on, I'm actually going to leave.
Oh, okay. Nope.
What?
You have to
Did
do
you
the
hear what
beam-
Plain said in the other chat?
What?
Did you hear what? Look in Family Home and see what Plain said about Aaron.
Just don't worry about it. It's not worth getting into drama.
Yeah, I know.
Excuse me, guys.